And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we've returned. We've returned here with Rongyi Cup Season 3, the group stage, Group C. We just wrapped up with the initial 3 matches here, and we are more than halfway through the broadcast. Again, going to be a little bit of a longer broadcast here tonight, but we have 2 series left. We have the winners match and the decider match to determine which 2 players will advance on into the playoffs. Up first, we have our PvP between Classic and Creator. Let's jump in. Let's jump into our PvP. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. As a reminder, Shin is waiting for the loser of this series. Shin is lying in wait. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Republic, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss player himself. We have the South Green Protoss for Team Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself. We have the South Green Protoss. It is a Creator. Here we go, our first mirror matchup of the broadcast, our first and only. And coming into this, we mentioned earlier that Classic was going to be pinned as the favorite player to make it through into the playoffs. He is one of the best Protoss players in the world. I would say he's top 2. He's top 2 Protoss alongside Hero. He's got his strengths, he's got his weaknesses, so does Hero as well. But in a PvP, anything can happen. We have seen Creator pop off. He has taken down players like Hero, like Classic in the past, and we'll see if Creator can do that again. Bearing in mind this is a best of 3, true. So best of 3, a bit of a shorter series here, so every little misstep, every little mistake does matter that much more. But now double gas opener out of create. Oh, sorry, double gas. What did I say? I'm locked into a TVP in my mind, baby. Standard openers, double gates is what I meant to say. Double gate opener here by Creator, double gate opener out of Classic. We gotta lock in, baby. Gotta lock in. Classic does veer off towards the left hand side, so he is looking to potentially hide a pylon. Creator going for a regular scout. He does dip into the main base, is looking to confirm the positioning of the second pylon. Speaking of, Classic is ready to proxy. Second pylon has been thrown down, and Creator, he's aware. Creator, remember, his worker is here to look for the pylon, and he should soon confirm that a pylon is missing, that something isn't quite right. Something isn't right. It is now going to be elsewhere. The probe is kept in position. This looks like a prime location for a proxy Stargate more than anything. It does feel a little bit too far away for a robo. As the probe is on patrol, Cybercore is now finishing. And never mind, I assumed it was too far away, but no, Classic, he commits into the robo. Classic commits into a 1 base all in. So 1 base all in by a red Protoss player. You can see that Creator, he is searching for the proxy, and based on the rally, it looks like he will find it. Remember, Creator, he knows that a pylon is missing, so he's looking, and he does find the robo. So big scout here, a big find. Again, I'm sure he was expecting a Stargate in this location more than anything, but now he has confirmed the robo, and he responds with his own robo back at home. A very nice setup here. Defensive robo is meant to shut down and counter proxy robo, as he'll have his own, he'll have the same production, except defensive, of course. He'll have his own immortal production as well, and we'll see if he can shut this down. Remember, Stalkers are on the way. They're on the way to depower the robo. Classic is aware, he throws down a second pylon to keep everything powered. Adepts, they try to move in. Adepts move in. Stalkers, they will win head on, but the Immortal's being chronoed. Third pylon. Throws down a third pylon. The first one is getting low. The first one should go down, but thankfully with extra pylons, the Immortal will still pop. Oof. As the Adept gets targeted, nice big here so far. The Creator gets the Adept, gets a pylon, confirms the Immortal, pulls away, and again is getting his own Prism first, not Immortal. It's going to be War Prism first. He's going to have that micro potential. Creator, he'll be able to juggle his units. Oh my god, his Adept barely gets away. Oh no! 2 Adepts go down, pylon goes down. Rough eagles here so far. Classic, he has been struggling, but he still has his Immortal. The Prism is on the way as well. Classic going to try to move in, but again, we do have the micro potential here for Creator. He pulls away. Trigger the shields. Did trigger the shields on 1 base. He's on 3 gateways. Yeah, 3 gate setup. I believe Classic, he's on 2 himself. Creator, he wants that Immortal. He wants it. Oh no, Jesus. Rough position there, rough rally. Scary movement by Classic. He's gonna calm down. Calm down, Bappy, calm down. But I believe Creator should shut this down. Like, he's got plenty of Stalkers to work with. Ooh, takes down one of the Stalkers. There's one Immortal, one Stalker left. Sorry, there's a second Immortal behind this, with sentries, with force fields. Oh, doesn't get baited out. We'll lose one Stalker. So nice bait there by Classic, nice trap. So able to lock down Creator. Creator's going for the counter attack instead. Creator pulls away with the main army. His drop is making its way towards the main base. There's nothing at home to defend. Only one shield battery, potentially a recall or a defensive warp in. Prism is coming. Shield battery is not yet done in the main base for Creator. Does force a pickup at the same time. He's going for the gateways. He's going for the gateways. Will depower both gateways. No more productions available here. Yeah, what you see is what you get. No more gateways, no more Stalkers. The boys are being pulled. Classic pushing towards the ramp. So Creator's being forced out of the main. Okay. He's going for the aggressive warp in. And again, Creator, he should have enough to break through. Ooh, late force field. And late reaction, late force field out of Creator. Ay, ay, ay. Classic gets in. Nice shuttling so far. The boys are being pulled, but the force fields are insane. Yeah, locks down the area, locks down the main. Immortals are pushing in. Now the boys are being pulled. Creator's getting desperate. Just trying to get his own Immortal. Oh, but the boys, they get a full surround. Yeah, the boys are here, and with that, it looks like Creator, he should have enough to defend. Is still getting very close, but takes down the first Immortal. Across the map, there's still Stalkers. There's still Stalkers across the map. And diving on the Stalkers. Oof, one Stalker left. But now there are 3 Immortals, true. Yeah, there's 3 Immortals left over. Last the Immortal is trying to pull away. Just barely comes out on top though. Yeah, another Immortal pops out. Creator, he holds. Yeah, he holds back at home. GG gets called, and Creator, he shuts down the all-in. He takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG well played again. Hyper aggression out of Classic, going for the one base all in, going for the proxy. Thankfully, Creator, he scouted. He scouted very, very early on, was able to shut it down. Remember, he killed both adepts, he killed the pylon, he delayed the follow-up, he was able to depower the gateways across the map as well, and he had plenty to work with back at home. It was still clutch, he still had to pull the boys, but in the end, he was able to defend with a high enough worker count. He maintained his economy. I could not say the same for Classic. He had so little back at home to defend. He had no energy for a recall, only 3 Stalkers. Not good enough. Not good enough. And with that, Creator takes a lead. And now we're going to be loading into game 2. Going to be loading into Winter Madness. No boy. Okay, we're loading into game 2 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Virtus Pro down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is a Classic. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself. It is Creator. Leading the series 1-0. Oh boy. He's leading the series. And we'll see if Classic commits into another all-in. Again, Classic is very fond of proxy robo. We've already seen it once in this series. We could see it again. Whether it's game 2, whether it's potentially game 3. Eyes are on Classic. So far, it is going to be a 2-gate opener once again. 2-gate opener out of Classic, 2-gate opener out of Creator. Once again, my eyes are on this probe. Hello, Classic. Where are we headed? Where are we going? Classic, he veers off towards the left-hand side. Cybercore gets thrown down, and is this going to be a fake or a real proxy pylon? Looks like a fake. Yeah, pylon gets thrown down. This is strictly on Classic side of the map, so this is not a location for a proxy robo. You can maybe proxy like a Twilight Council into Dark Shrine here or something like that, but you can see Classic just abandoned this location, so this is mind games. Remember, Creator, he's in the main. Creator, he's scouting in the main base. Creator, he knows that a pylon is missing, so it's looking just like game one. Looking just like in one, and I'm sure the Creator would not put it past Classic to go for the same build 2 games in a row. Yep, and already it's paying for itself. Second probe. Second probe moves out to scout, so Creator is checking the top side of the map, looking for a proxy that doesn't really exist. Double Stalker opener as well. Classic, sorry, Creator, it looks like he may scout. The vision's going to be close, and the probe, oh no, barely not. Barely doesn't see, barely does not scout the pylon. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, rough moment there for Creator. He was so close. So close. And he's looking. You can see his stalkers are fanning out as well. Still trying to piece together what's going on. Thankfully, Creator is still expanding. He calls his opponent's bluff, and he confirms that there is a base. So he sees the Nexus. Because of the early game, Classic's base is a little bit earlier. So Classic has a slightly better economy, has a slightly faster base. Oh. As Creator, oh, the body blocking. Nice body blocking, but not good enough. The Adept still goes down. Nice catch here from Creator. We have a take of choice going for a Twilight Council. For both layers, Blink. Blink is going to be on the way. We're settling into a longer game. We're expanding. We're building up. Again, we had a hyper aggression in game 1. Here in game 2, we're slowing things down. And actually building up. As he does shade in, gets one, gets two. 2 probes go down. We do see Classic playing it safe, going for his robo before expanding. And we do see Creator doing the same. So again, for the most part, mirrored builds. Mirrored builds here. We do have some slight deviations here and there. Some slight differences. Creator now expanding. So will Classic. And after an intense game 1, we are slowing things down quite heavily here in game 2. Building up into the mid game. From here, we'll keep an eye on the gases. We'll see if we go into a standard mid-game of Blink Stalker into Charge Lot, into Charge Lot Archon Immortal. Or if we go for an earlier timing attack. Likewise, Classic still has potential with these Adepts. Still has potential. So now we're just scouting each other. We're kind of entering one of like the more slower paced phases of PvP. It's a little bit similar to ZVZ, where in ZVZ you can end up in Roach versus Roach. Here you can end up in Stalker versus Stalker, where we're just kind of being passive and kind of doing our own thing. Yes, there's some Adept harass, but it is going to be shut down. Ooh, well, Adept does shade in. Maybe gets 1 or 2 probes. Gets 1. Ah, just 1. Just 1 probe kill. We have Charge on the way for a Classic. We should be seeing Charge from Creator as well. Right, getting there. Faster Temple Archives. I should briefly explain as well what's kind of happening with the army compositions. So early on, Blink Stalkers are ideal. That is true. They're very cost efficient. They're very mobile. But as we get into actual army compositions, Zealots and Charge is so much more efficient. It's a much cheaper unit, and it tanks very, very nicely against a very Stalker heavy composition and Immortal as well. So Zealots are kind of like the meat of your army. They're kind of the buffer. They do well. So how do you counter mass Zealots? Archons, right? That's why we have the Temple Archives for both players, both Creator and Classic. You do need that Archon count to punish a heavy Zealot composition. Without Archons, you will just die. Technically, there are some players that mess around a little bit with, instead of going into Archon, they go into Colossus. They go into Colossus, or they go into, they try to skip and go into Disruptors instead. It's very, very risky trying to rush into Disruptors, but technically that is more efficient. It's just you're quite vulnerable early on because it's a very heavy tech commitment. So we have our armies rounding out against Blink Stalker with Zealots, Archons, Immortals. And once our players feel secure enough, and once they get up to a 4-base setup, they can start thinking about Disruptors. That's kind of a little bit later down the line. And again, there are some players that try to rush into Disruptors. It's a stylistic thing. There are some players that go into earlier mass Zealot timing attacks, and they stay on the lower gas counts and try to kill you early on before you build up your Archons. But our players are being very passive. Players being very, very passive, so we're just kind of macroing up. What do we have to work with? So we have an even Archon count, we have an even Immortal count. We do have Zealots in favor of a Creator. So Creator, he has more Zealots. Some more charges warping in. A lot of this will still come down to the Archon positioning. You don't want to aim your Zealots into Archons. You want to pull them back a little bit and try to deal with them early on. Oh! Prism gets caught out. Nice pickup. And again, Creator, he does have that army supply lead. Classic is up in probes. So Classic's been making more workers. Meanwhile, Creator more army. Gonna be diving in. The Archons are too far back. Yeah, we have 2 Archons not doing anything. So a fumbled assault here from Classic. Remember, the Archon range is quite low. They have to be forward. And Creator's collapsing in. Does veer off with those Zealots. Yeah, spreads out his Zealots. Pushing forward, blinking on forward on top of those Archons. And he will get all 3. Yeah, all 3 Archons are going to go down. Again, we just had a very rough fight here for Classy. He gets overwhelmed. The Archons fall. The Zealots as well. And Creator, he's done it. He breaks the 3rd. He breaks the 4th base as well. GG gets called. And Creator, he will take the series 2-0, being the first player to advance on into the playoffs. GG. GG, well played. Again, a relatively passive game 2 in comparison to game 1. Game 1 was very intense, and Creator successfully scouted Classic. Here in game 2, it did come down to the army positioning. Of course, Classic did overprobe. He did probe up to 67. Meanwhile, we saw that Creator cut workers earlier at 62, going for a very heavier Zealot army, going for an earlier push. But at the same time, we saw a really awkward engage from Classic. When the armies first clashed, Classic had 2 Archons behind his army, and they couldn't do anything. They were like bugging out, trying to push forward. They were out of range of the Zealots, so we saw a much more efficient fight out of Creator early on, getting on top of the Stalkers, getting on top of the first Archon as well, and it was just a really rough start to the fight, and everything happened very, very quickly there. Everything escalated quickly in favor of Creator. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Creator, he does advance on, and Classic gets knocked down to the decider match. Oh my god. Once again, to reiterate, I would have said that, I was saying that Classic was favored to make it out in first place. His favorite to make it out in first place, but no, he gets knocked down to the decider match instead, and it's going to be one final series between Classic and Shin. Oh boy.